Every now and then, you meet someone who has completely reinvented themselves. Without a lot of noise, without a big fuss, just quietly doing what they're doing at their own pace, in their own space. And when you look back, you realize that they have completely changed the game for themselves. That's exactly how I would describe today's guest, Rakesh Mathuria. From a stable, successful career in engineering to a life built around coaching, podcasting, consulting, and being an author. His story is all heart, all hustle, and a whole lot of self awareness. Let's dive in. Hi, Rakesh. Good morning. How are you doing?
Good morning, Neha. And yes, I'm really excited for this podcast. Yes, good to go. Let's do it.
Good to go. That's fantastic. I mean, you and I obviously connected through our coaching experience, and you've always been so helpful, even when we were starting our first podcast and did not know anything what we were doing. So, thank you so much, first of all, for all your help. And I would let you tell me your story till now and your pivots in your words.
Oh, okay. So, yeah, I really like your means name of the podcast, Career Pivots, and it really feel like that the pivoting at the midlife around 35, 40 means from every direction it start to kick in. Yes, kuch karo, and something start to come up. So let me share that 5 years back, I was just an electrical engineer working in a fossil fuel company. That's it. That was my identity. But today I'm a coach, I'm author, podcaster. I help coaches build their coaching business and podcast. So like that, this last not 5 years, maybe 10 years. It is a long journey, and the one point which I'm right now means if I'm thinking that life has given me chances and I kept flowing with it. So I have not stopped myself. That was important.
What was the first sort of step, or what was the first thing that kind of made you realize that just being an electrical engineer in a fossil fuel company is not what life should look like?
Okay. So this is my means my favorite part because sharing our own story from last 10 years back is always beautiful to share again and again.
Yeah.
So what has happened that in our school and in our home we were told that these are your life goals. These that shadi, then good job, then flat, and then car, and then in between foreign vacation also added. Okay. So at the age of 34 around, I have ticked all my these ticks. So car भी हो गई, घर भी हो गया, शादी हो गई, two kids, one girl, one boy, and foreign vacation. Everything happened and सब कुछ tick हो गया. And then this started. Yeah, let me add that. Yeah, promotions also were happening easily, and I was able to maneuver through the office also. So everything was ticked, and exactly, I think exactly 10 years back, when I was 34, now I am 44. So I'm thinking that what next? From last 15-20 years, I'm running from class 10th, 12th, then engineering, then job, and then running for promotions, then shadi and everything I was running. And after, at the age of 34, it started that ab kiske piche bhage? What next? And that what next kept me going, that I started to discuss with my friends कि यार अब किसके पीछे भागे and what to do. So one of my friend told me that ठीक है ये सब हो गया, but now you are not in your good health, मोटे हो गए हो and all that. So why don't you work on your health? So at that point of time, I started to work on my health, and I started going gym and marathons, and I was going all around India to run just marathons. And within a year, I was having a very good health. Then again, what next? Then some I discussed with someone, and someone told me that now you are in good health. Let's start with your mental health. Yes, you can read self-development books and all those things. So, and it kept me going. Yes, this is a good idea that after health, I can work on my mind. And then I started reading self-help books, and to my surprise, those self-help book I was able to understand in within one reading. I was able to understand, I was able to practice some of those things in my life, and I was able to share also with people. And people around me started to feel some of the difference in my lifestyle, in my behavior, in my office also, in my friend circle also. They used to come to me and sit with me. मेरे साथ बैठते थे, बात करते थे अपनी लाइफ का स्टोरियां सुनाते थे, and I was not able to give them any answer, but I was just listening. So from there, people started to get warmth from me, and then I started to realize that yes, अब इसका कुछ करना पड़ेगा. So I'm more inclined towards from engineering. I'm more inclined towards human psychology, how people think and why they are chasing happiness. So that's how I got into coaching, and yes, that's how I started to get into coaching, and from coaching level 1 and courses like that.
Okay. And then from that point to now, where you have written books, you are podcasting very regularly, you are you're an established coach and a speaker, you are a consultant. But it's also been 10 years. So have there been points of pivots within these 10 years as well?
Actually, yes. The day I started to read my books, self-help books, it started to get something out of me. And if I see pivots means I first initially in 2018 I started with doing physical events.
Okay.
I used to invite people, my friend, my yoga teacher, my yoga teacher's sister, everyone into an into an hall. And then I started to give them some gyan. ठीक है, एक घंटा, 1.5 घंटा, 2 घंटा. I was to teach them whatever I have learned through self-help book. And in every event, there will be one person or two person whose life shifted, and they told me that yes, these learnings are useful for them, and that kept me going. So from physical events, then I started writing books, and it was not planned, it was just happened, and I kept going. And then I met one of our friend Nikhil Juneja. He introduced me to coaching, that whatever you are doing, it is some kind of part of coaching business and life coaching, executive coaching. And from there I started to life coach, means coaching exactly. And now we are naming it life coaching, career coaching, whatever we feel
Kind
like.
of
But
coaching. Yeah.
yeah. But what I generally means, I publicize myself or designate myself as career transformation expert, because I transformed my career from electrical engineer to now coach. So I have been to this journey of transformation. So now I help corporate professional transform their career to find their fulfillment. And then off late, lot many coaches started to come up that how to start podcast, how to set up a coaching business. So these are the two transitions also I have done. So right now, mostly I help coaches to start their podcast and to build the coaching business based on podcasting. And in between, let me also put this also in our podcast that right from school, college, and even in my office, I was an introvert guy. So to having a podcast after 10 years, and so I also help introvert corporate professional to start their coaching business and podcasting. So that will be my final pivot.
Well, it sounds like a career full of hustle, I must say. Like getting your yoga teacher and your yoga teacher's sister to come and see you're one of the first speaking engagements. It sounds a lot like hustle. It sounds a lot like, this is what I have, what can I make out of it? And it sounds truly a transformation, like you said. And if you think about all of the different hats that you're wearing, which one do you think is the biggest engine that kind of runs it all?
Okay, yeah, this is beautiful question. Yeah, biggest engine, yes. So the biggest why, and the biggest why is actually let me think that right from my school, college, because I always go to my childhood. From there, everything starts. That I have also shared that I was introvert. I was not able to speak up, and so I used to help people in whatever way I can help, so that I can be in accepted in the society, in the community, in my friends. So I used to help them in every way, even out of my comfort. I am not means giving any point of my comfort. I was just going with my comfort and helping anyone and everyone.
Mhm.
So from there, I started to help people in my college also, in my office also.
Hmm.
So what has happened is that helping nature has started to come up from there. So today also, the real engine is, if you ask, is that helping anyone
Hmm.
in the coaching space, in career space, in coaching or podcasting. That is the real engine actually, because generally the internal desire, the inherent desire for me is to help,
Hmm.
and help in every way. And every way means anything. If someone asks me that, ठीक है ये कैसे होता है, so I'm ready to help. So because from last 20 years I've been to helping
Hmm.
people, and because of whatever reasons, whatever I shared, but that is the, I think, the real engine which has kept me going.
Hmm. Interesting. So something that started as when you were young because it was a tool for you to get acceptance is something that's now getting you so much satisfaction that you continue to work on it. That's
Yes.
interesting. Yeah. What we go through our childhood and how we kind of transform that as adults is always very very interesting to note. And what are some of the things that people don't understand? I mean, I think I don't see anyone who has come in contact with you for longer than 10 minutes and not realize that you're extremely helpful, that you are someone who will, simply go out of their way and say, let me help you in this. But what is something that people don't find out so easily?
Actually, right now means, if I say myself that yes, I was introvert and now I am having a podcast and I am public speaker. People doesn't understand how this journey has happened.
Okay.
Yes, let me put it. Yeah, people don't even recognize that this is the same. Means, if I ask one of my classmates from school or college and they will see me doing podcast and doing public speaking, they will never able to understand how this has happened. But let me share that how it has happened, because 10 years back when I was searching and I was doing my health and then reading self-help book, and at that point of time I started to rewire my mind that from 34 years I was thinking that I'm introvert, I cannot speak.
Mm-hmm.
That shifted to I'm good in listening.
Mm.
I'm a PhD in listening. And last 34 years, I have done one thing, and that is the listening. So I'm good in that.
Mm.
And for a good conversation, listening is the only thing which is required. And for having a good coaching career, listening is required. So that mindset shift has happened from there. That yes, I cannot speak in public too, I'm good in listening. I'm an excellent in listening. That mindset shift has actually helped me to maneuver this change. And let me also share that this mindset, after this mindset change, it took me 10 years to come to this place today, completing 100 episodes. So it is a slow journey,
Yeah.
very slow journey, with each conversation, with each group dynamics, and with each event. Slowly I started 0.001% each day. I was shifting from that introvert to now ambivert. So very slightly I was shifting. But
Mm.
let me here share that the world around me was same
Mm.
before that also, and now also the world is same. The shifting
Mm.
has happened here only, that yes, I am not able to speak to now.
I can speak.
I'm good i'm good in listening.
Yeah. Nice.
Simple shift.
That's a wonderful, wonderful shift, right? You something that you treat as your weakness, you turn it into your strength and say, now how I can leverage it. That's fantastic. And like you rightly said, I mean, we spoke about hustle earlier, and now obviously it's about consistency. The fact that you just have to stay at it, small, small, small little steps. Was there ever one stage, one podcast, one conversation where you felt, yeah, ये तो मैं कर सकता हूँ?
Yeah, so yeah, podcast is also started like this. Let me share that also how the podcast started,
Mm,
because we all know that after engineering, MBBS or MBA,
mm,
just after getting the degree, we don't get job.
yeah,
Yeah, so in the same way, when I completed my coaching level one certification,
mm.
I understood that just doing the certification will not
Will
help.
not get you work. Yeah.
Yes, will not get coaching business, will not get client.
Yes.
I have to make a brand out of it, a coaching brand or a coach brand. So I completed on I think 31st March or sometime 21, and the next day, very next day, I enrolled myself into digital marketing course. And from there, they told me that you have to start YouTube or podcast. So that time I was working in the company. So audio podcast was the better choice for me. So I started with audio podcast, and one more thing it also plays that when I was doing my coaching course in that last 5 months of rigorous course. So it was a very big batch of 14 people, and when we used to check in, so our check-in happened is that on Saturday 1 p.m. we were having a regular session of coaching, and on Saturday morning we have to check in as a audio notes in our WhatsApp group, that how I am feeling, how and what last 1 week what I have done,
Mm,
and what I'm looking up to for the session. So everything.
mm,
So we were doing audio check-ins on WhatsApp,
mm.
and I used to hear my voice again and again in those audio notes, and I started to like my voice. I
Yeah.
started to love my voice, and that plays into the podcast. When I started my podcast, it was very natural because hearing our own voice and own video is very difficult, and we some in the initial days we don't recognize this is my voice.
Mm-hmm.
With those audio notes, I was primed that yes, I like my voice. And when I started the podcast first episode, and let me take back also that introvert, I'm not able to speak. Everything come down that yes, this is my thing to speak up.
Aha. Okay.
Yeah, and from there podcast started, and the stories, the journeys of last 30, 35, 40 years, everything used to share on my podcast. So
Mm,
it gave me an opening to share my journey, my life with the world. So
yeah.
that's how. So this is the real means point that why I continued from last 4 years, because I love my voice and it gave me some opening to speak up
Hmm.
freely and fluently on my podcast.
Yeah. Makes so much sense. Just something as simple as sending out audio notes on WhatsApp helped
Yes.
you completely open the gates to word of that, because I can imagine that, and this was my experience as well. Audio
Mm.
podcasts are easier, but thinking of putting yourself on video for the world to watch is not an easy task to make. So it
Yes.
is, yeah, it's something as simple. You never know what kind of clicks and what sends you down a different path. Having said that, of course, I can imagine that, as we've all grown up and we've all grown up with certain sets of shoulds and coulds and woulds in our mind, when you are an established engineer and you have an established career and you've gotten promotions, you're doing well, it couldn't have been an easy choice to make, to say, I'm going to move away from it. How was the reaction of your support system in that?
Yeah, actually, if I now I remember last 6 years, 2018, I did my first event. So in the last 6 years, to last year I left. So in the last 6 year, actually every quarter I was doing some book, some event, and so support system means my family, my parents, they were watching that this guy is continuously churning out something every quarter, new episode or doing something. So maybe after a year or two, they started to believe in myself that yes, something is coming out. One book, two book, three books, then events, and then podcasts. So like that, and people are also started to come up to me. So like that, it was gradual belief they had on me. Means initially it was difficult. Even I was having doubts. So I cannot expect my family to have that confidence.
Yeah.
So it started with gradual, and so the podcast gave me the very good energy. So that because of one episode, 20
Hmm.
episode, 25 episode, 50 episode, that gave me also the confidence, and my support system also the confidence that yes, he's doing something. It is not that just he's just coach.
Hmm.
He's actually churning out something, a product or some service
Yeah.
out there. So that started to kick in, and leaving a job, that was difficult actually. The
Hmm.
decision after serving for 19 years,
Hmm.
that was very difficult. And the notice period is very difficult. Means the 3 months notice period, because every day you feel like in the morning you feel like
I don't
नहीं
want
नहीं
to do.
गड़बड़ हो गई something ठीक है. And by afternoon you see some coaching client, and then
Huh.
some podcast guest, and फिर by afternoon you see नहीं नहीं सही हो रहा है ठीक है.
Yeah.
So every day I was going through this sinusoidal wave. So I'm
Yeah.
electrical engineer, so every day I was going through sinusoidal wave.
Huh.
And those 3 months were difficult. Means convincing self and convincing family, and I have not even told my parents the whole. Yes, I just told that this year will be last,
Huh.
but I have not told that I'm on notice period.
Notice period.
So like that, because when the decision can be changed and people around us can stop me. So that's why I have not told anyone,
Hmm.
just to my close friends and my family, and
Hmm.
then. And it was tough. Means I will not fantasize that yes, leaving a job is very good thing and all. It was tough decision,
Hmm.
and those 3 months were very difficult, and I was having sometimes feverish, and sometimes feeling that ye kya ho gaya and what all. But once I left the job,
Hmm.
it was a smooth ride, because I have prepared for it for last 6 7 years. So
Hmm.
it was very easy after once I left. It
Hmm.
was comfortable because I was already having podcast, I was having coaching, and lot many things were already in place.
Hmm. What is the
Yeah.
one thing that you kind of probably still miss about having a corporate life which is simple and defined?
Yes, so me and my wife, we always we have discussed about it, that we will never talk that अगर नहीं छोड़ते तो ऐसा होता. We will never talk.
Okay,
we will
that's fair.
we will always talk what next. अब क्या करना है? What is the next step? So, but in the last 1 year, means on 7th May, it will be 1 year
Hmm.
next month. So, I think there's nothing I'm missing for my corporate job, because I was prepared for it actually.
Ah.
2018 to 2024, 6 years. It was good enough time for mental strength and the financial things and lot many things. So I was prepared for it, and not even a single day I missed my corporate job. Means yes, not even a single day. Yes, because I was ready for it. And for coaches, let me share that. So building our mindset towards that, yes, now this will be my future, and that is very important. And we have to be also means comfortable with that monthly salary is not our thing now.
Yeah.
Yes, now it is yearly accounting. So so that acceptance is very very much required.
Hmm. Okay. And was there ever a moment where you felt like in this new role, I have to prove something so that everybody else also understands how well I understand that this is a good decision?
Yeah, this is a beautiful question. Yes, if I'm think through that, yes, no, I mean, I don't think so. Means because coaching started in me with in 2020. So in 2020, from there, the coaching started to work on, and yes, the non-judgmental attitude, and even if acceptance and life, and when we are coaching others also, we are also taking some learnings with each coaching sessions. So the acceptance of self has started 4 5 years back. So I don't think so means after leaving job I have to prove to someone else, and to some for me also to prove someone, because it the happiness and fulfillment is an internal job. Yes, there's no one responsible for my peace and happiness, so it is a single player game. Yes, yeah. We
Yeah,
think it is a multiplayer game, but it is a
but it's
single player game.
yeah.
So I had to take my 100% responsibility of my life and
Mm,
my happiness and my
mm,
peace. But it is easier said than done. Yes, it has to be a learning curve, and it is gradually happens. So let me share that also again, that the transformation happens 0.01% each day, and but we think that yes, job छोड़ने के बाद everything will transform. No, no. 0.01% each day it transform, because our habits are old. To change our habits, change our patterns, to change our fears, to change our limiting beliefs, it takes time. Even if we understood the concept, it takes time.
mm. Yeah, fair point. And you are very right. I think I would go as far as to say that even when you are in a job, it is almost always a single person game because you have to compete with yourself. But specifically when you are working for yourself, when you are, doing your own thing, of course, it's a completely single player game. But do external factors, is there any other external factor that does affect you in the sense that people who started around you the same time are doing better, are doing differently, and you look at something and you're like, oh, I should have thought of this? Does that ever happen? And how do you counter that?
Wow, this is a beautiful question. Yes, I love it, because comparison is means right from our school, college. The comparison always there
Yeah.
to come first. वो शर्मा जी के बेटे से बढ़िया number and all that. So
आई नो, ये शर्मा जी का बेटा कभी मिल जाए ना.
yes. Here let me share that the podcast has helped me in this, because when I released my episode one, it was not a very good quality sound. I recorded on my mobile and just released it without any editing. And then people started to message me that अरे यार तुम ऑडियो की जगह वीडियो करो, वीडियो ज़्यादा चलता है, and then the comparison start, and people used to compare my podcast with the Ranveer Alavadia, Ankur Wariko. So अरे यार वो पॉडकास्ट में वीडियो तो बना रहे हो, बट देयर आर लॉट ऑफ थिंग्स बिहाइंड इट, उसको क्लीन करो, अच्छा क्वालिटी करो. सो द पॉडकास्ट विद ईच एपिसोड, पॉडकास्ट गेव मी द कॉन्फिडेंस दैट इट इज नॉट अबाउट कंपैरिजन, and if I want to compare, I have to compare it with my previous episode. It's always you versus yesterday's you. So after with each episode I started to means accept myself, that yes, this is my journey. Because and here let me share that we Jeff Bezos photo is there. He's sitting in a room and with one table and one computer, and that was day one of Amazon. It is written
Yeah,
Amazon.
yeah, yeah,
Yes.
yeah.
So we don't have to and now where he is
No,
now,
yeah.
Blue Origin and everywhere,
And
Amazon is
empty to
everywhere.
space, yeah.
Yes. So we have to always compare ourselves journey with ourselves. So don't compare with someone's chapter 10 with your chapter 1. So with these small incidents, small anecdotes from celebrities, these things give us confidence that yes, yeah, now we can also do. And let me share here also that from podcast episode 1, I started with audio podcast. Then at the episode 25, I started interview people. And then after episode 50, I started to only do interview podcast. And there were no monologues. And at the episode 64, I started video podcast when I was ready. But people are telling me from episode 1,
One.
अरे ऑडियो नहीं चलता है, ऑडियो नहीं चलता है. But let me here share that there is an audience for every medium.
Yeah.
Audio, video, or newsletter,
Yeah.
blog, LinkedIn. There is audience for everything. इतनी जनता है 140 करोड़. ठीक है, सबके
Yeah.
लिए अपना एक मीडियम है.
Correct. You do you. That's all. You do you.
Yes. Perfectly, perfectly.
And in this mantra of you do you, which seems to be like, you're focused on what you are doing. You mentioned that before, when you changed, you were chasing so many things, right? Job chahiye, promotion chahiye, bache, shadi, car, all of that. What are you chasing now?
This is beautiful question. Now I only chase that how can I help someone? Yes, there's the inherent desire, and that's what I chase. Yes, how can I today in the morning when I get up? How can I help someone in today's day? How can I bring a smile on someone else's face?
Mhm.
And in return, I'm getting my peace and fulfillment from there. That is also there, but I'm always means getting up with whenever I get up in the morning. First thing I do is I write my journal. I write my goals, and in the first goal, it is always about serving. It is
Hmm.
serving people. That is the ultimate thing, and from there, that serving attitude and everything will come up. So now I'm chasing, yes, serving.
So yeah. And what is goal 2 and 3? What does the hustler in you want next?
Hustler means actually hustle. I have done many hustles in the first
Yeah.
10 years, 10 years of my career. And after that, it was very silent and stable job. And then I started in 2018, I started my that side hustle. Then
Hmm.
also I was hustling. But but inherently I'm a peace loving people, a very silent people. So from the last 1 year, I'm not doing any hustling. I'm just doing my thing.
Uh,
Means doing what I love.
hmm.
That is the ultimate fulfillment for me. Yes. So if I'm not feeling that yes, today I don't have to do, I will just sit and read my books
Hmm.
and everything. So that will means now I have purposely what I have done is purposely paused myself from the last 1 year, and purposely taken a pause so that I can reflect that where my life is going, where my day is going,
Hmm.
and then plan it as per my choice. From
Okay.
the last 20 years, it was always about someone
Someone
else
else.
was driving and everything. So now I'm planning my perfect day on the paper, and then crafting it on a day-to-day basis.
Nice, nice. And a good day is a day that goes exactly like it was planned. That is
Yeah.
fantastic. That's great.
Yes.
And what does the future look like? What does the future version, does it, is this is how it's going to be for the next 10 years, and then we'll think about it?
Yeah, actually, if I see myself in the last 6, 7 years also, every year I was doing something new, and something new has come up. So I'll continue doing the main mission of my life, that's serving people, serving humanity, serving introvert to speak up, serving coaches to start their coaching business through podcasting. So I continue doing the means, the ways can be different. Right now, I'm doing from my YouTube podcast. Maybe in the future, I may do with some other thing. So the purpose is same, that ways can be different.
Nice. Yeah, I think if anyone is listening, and is feeling like they need to go out and get something new from the world, just keep doing what you're doing, and whatever else needs to happen will happen automatically, which is fantastic. And what
Yeah, yeah, definitely.
what else would you tell someone, if you were to wrap this up in a nice little sentence, for someone who's trying to think and trying to figure out what their next career move should be, and is looking for the hustle which you have kind of left behind? What would your message be?
I was at the same juncture, and I
Yeah.
was searching for answers, and I was doing everything from attending events and then doing my events, then books, and जो भी मिल जाता था उसको पकड़ के पूछता था what to do next. So so let me share that, yes, here so I served in my job for 19 years, close to
Mhm.
19 years.
Mhm.
And before that, I was having some other job. So it was close to 20 years. Means I
Hmm.
started in April 2005. So exactly 20 years back.
Hmm.
So let me share that in the last 20 years, means in my career, So I always think that career is the part of the problem.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, boss is part of the problem, and vendor is the part of the problem, client is the part of the problem. But it was the other way around. It was actually career is part of the solution actually.
Okay.
Yes, this mindset has to be shifted for people who are stuck somewhere.
Okay.
Career is part of solution. We think it is a part of problem.
Mm-hmm.
No, it is part of solution. Because if we are not happy with our bosses, it is something to do with us. We have not learned something. We have
Mm-hmm.
not learned how to manage a boss. We have not learned how to manage our boundaries. We
Mm-hmm.
have not learned how to do time management.
Mm-hmm.
Something it has to be done with ourselves. And if we are so much frustrated with our job, then we should change our job. Yeah, go to some other boss, or you can ask for your boss to transfer me in some other department, some other division, some other thing. You can always ask if that is not happening. So first thing is that I always tell people to understand that career is part of the solution. First accept that it is the same thing, and from there just start, and that is the number one. Number two is from there start learning something new, means your skill set or time management. Means if today you are facing some issue that yes, how to manage time, just google it, read 10 articles, and you are good to go. That's it.
Yeah.
If you are having anxiety, just search how to handle
Anxiety.
anxiety,
Yeah.
and read 10 articles, and you are good to go.
Yeah.
The answers in life are very simple. Only that we have to learn it and do action for it.
Mm. Yeah.
Yes, so learn. So after accepting that career is part of the solution, second point is we should invest in learning. And invest in learning means we should always invest money also, energy also, resources also, everything. Means
Mm.
everything we have to invest in those things, because whenever we are in corporate, we hardly pay someone to learn something new. Yes,
Mm.
we only rely on the training happening in our corporate.
Yeah.
So that corporate training is for their goals and for their vision, not for you. Yeah. So
That's true. That's true.
so yeah, so we should always invest in the learning. So let me here share that from 2018 to 2024,
Mm.
I invested in my learning, so coaching course and attending events and doing my podcast. I have spent close to 25 lakhs on my learnings.
Mm-hmm.
So for someone who is stuck up, the thumb rule is invest at least 1 month salary. Whatever your salary is, if it is 10,000 or 10 lakh, invest 1 month salary on your learnings, on your investment on learning. Yeah, that is the thumb rule. And one more thing, let me share that I always tell them that how much is your mobile cost?
Yeah.
At so at least that amount you invest on your learning every
Yeah.
year.
Yeah, I think that's so true. And that I think you're right. I mean, we don't look at learning once we're out of college, or once we've gotten into a job, it's like I'm not spending more money on learning. I'm not spending more money on bettering myself because it feels like such a big investment. But you're
Yeah.
buying a phone, you're going to foreign travel, you're living in a place somewhere where you're spending that much money. It's just that you're unhappy doing it, so you might as well invest in yourself. Yes, that's
Yeah,
great.
so let me share the step three also.
Uh-huh.
And so first is that mindset that career is part of the solution.
Mm-hmm.
Second is invest in your learning,
Mm-hmm.
and the third is don't be harsh on yourself.
Mm. This third one is the one that will unlock everything else. I feel we judge ourselves so much
Yes,
that we don't do anything because we are the first ones to judge ourselves. Dunya to baad mein aayegi. First,
yes,
we are
yes,
the ones
दुनिया
who are
भर.
judging ourselves.
So every day right from the morning it starts. अरे
Yeah,
आज तूने बिजली का बिल भी नहीं भरा, अपने दोस्त को कल फोन आया था कॉल बैक भी नहीं किया, पेरेंट्स को फोन नहीं किया,
yeah.
and everything the self talk happens every day, every time, every second. So we have just gives sympathy and compassion to self, empathy and compassion to self also, and don't be harsh on yourself. And let me share that in 2021, I started this concept that don't be harsh on yourself. And from that day onwards, my life and my career started to shift. Yeah, everything started to shift with this one sentence that don't be harsh on yourself. On a day to day basis, we used to say ourselves, the self talk keeps on happening, and it is always the negative sentences are more than the total talks. Yes, so that is very important. And let me here add one more thing also, that people say that इसके लिए time कहाँ है self talk करने के लिए, how to do it. So I always tell them, just every day we should sit with ourselves for around 30 minutes
Hmm.
and just ground yourself in the morning, maybe evening, afternoon, कहीं पे भी बैठ के just ground yourself and do some self talk,
Hmm.
positive self talk to set the tone for the day.
Hmm.
So from there we can start.
Yeah, yeah, makes a lot of sense. In fact, when you were saying that we start right in the morning, my first thought was right when the alarm goes off, you start cribbing, right? Oh, now I'll have to get up. I didn't sleep well. But yeah, right in the morning, if you were to just take a little pause and tell yourself some good things, then it'll be a different day. Yeah, completely.
Yes, 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 definitely, definitely.
Anyways, I think this is a good place for us to pause. And thank you so much, Rakesh, once again. Thank you for your time and some great gems from your conversation. I hope that we will speak again when it is your 1,000th episode. I'm looking forward to it. Yeah.
So thank you, Neha, for inviting for the podcast, and I really enjoyed sharing everything. And it is always good to share our own
Yes.
journey. So, and it didn't feel like a podcast. We were just chatting, and we are just having an introduction. We are having a laugh. So
Yeah.
it feels like home. So thank you for this podcast.
Thank you so much. That's very, very kind of you. And I will speak to you soon.